Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about flipping cars, and getting crossing that $1 million threshold. So when it comes to flipping cars, the funny thing about flipping cars is this: most people always think that you have to have initial capital when you want to go into the car business. Okay, I live in the state of Illinois, and over here in Illinois, you need at least about $10,000 to go through the whole process of registration to be a licensed Illinois retail dealer. And then if you wanted to go the wholesale route, any of the states, Indiana, Missouri, or Wisconsin, you're looking at about a cost of about $2,000 to $2,500, an upfront cost of about $6,000 for the year. And that sometimes requires you to file paperwork and all that kind of stuff in both cases, both retail, Illinois, and the wholesale dealership. So now let's say you want to go that route. That is a perfect route. That is the legit route. That's the route that will take you way past the $1 million mark and into the tens of millions. And most of you guys have franchise dealers in your state. You see the Chevy dealers, the Lexus of Chicago. Those guys are doing business in the tens of millions. But now what happens? Let's say you're a guy that doesn't have any money, but you want to get into the car business. This video is for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with whoever that this video might help out. And let's get to it. So the first step is relationship. Relationships can help you get your foot in the door and go through the whole process of getting into the car business without any money. Let me explain. Let's say, for example, I've been in the car business for over 15 years, right? And I had a family friend ask me, hey, I need a car, okay? And I asked them, what kind of car do you need? They said they need a 2010 and up Toyota Camry. They need a 2010 plus Honda Civic, or a 2010 and up Toyota Camry. So I decided to leverage my relationships, right? I had a friend, he usually buys a lot of Toyotas and he ships them to Cotonou. Cotonou is a country, is a city in Benin Republic. Benin Republic is a country in West Africa. So I called my buddy up and I asked him, hey, you have any Toyota Camrys? He's like, or Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic. He's like, yeah, I have a Toyota Corolla. I asked him, what year is it? He said it's a 2010. I told my client, hey, look what's going on here. I have this car for you. And she's like, yeah, we would like to see it. Let's see the car. And I sent her pictures, and she's like, yes, bring it over. Let's inspect it. Sometimes customers want to see the car. They want to take it for a drive. They want to sit in it. They want to make sure that they have the proper vibe with the car. So, mind you, I haven't spent $1. So, I called up my buddy, picked up the Toyota Corolla from his place, took it over to the family friend. Mind you, this family friend has been buying cars from me for a while. And the thing about it is that I have cars for sale, and I could sell this family friend a car. But now it requires me to go to the auction and buy this car, get it ready, and then sell it to her. But I decided to leverage this relationship. So I'm getting to the part where I'm going to prove to you that this could be done. So I took the car to her. She inspected it because she liked it. I went on a trip, told her I'll get the car ready when I come back. Came back, she kept bugging me about the car, went ahead, brought it back to her. Her family inspected it, decided to buy the car. She gave me a $1,000 deposit. I went ahead and fixed up the car and got it ready for her. By the way, as of the time of making this video, this car will be delivered on Tuesday. Okay? Tuesday should be the 12th. So here's the deal. The car was sold at the auction for about $4,500 thereabout. My friend, the guy whom I leveraged the relationship between him and I to acquire this car, he paid about that. And the client was looking to pay $8,000 for a car, right? This family friend of mine. They were looking to pay about $8,000 for a car. And at the end of the day, I offered them this car for 7,500, right? Which is still a good deal because this car at the auction, Mannheim auction, the MMR for the car with the mileage that I gave them was about 6,800, close to 7,000. It's a 2009 Toyota Corolla with 110,000 miles. Well, here's the kicker. I asked my buddy, hey, what's the best you could do? I was trying to get it for about 4,500, and I had a feeling he paid less than that. I think he paid maybe a little bit less than that, closer to 4. So I tried to get it for that so I could, give my family friends some room on the price. He didn't budge. He said 55 is his last. I talked to him and explained to him that there's some issues with the car. There was some issues with the car. Rear shocks, and some other little things, ball joints, just little things, motor mounts, and thereabout. So he told me, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a non-negotiable baseline. He settled at 5,000 between him and I. So when we get down to the $5,000 mark, I looked at numbers. I thought these numbers could work. I punched in the numbers into the Mannheim data, and he told me that this car is valued at close to 6,000, 6,500, 7,000 inside the auction, somewhere between 101 miles and 114,000 miles. That's the range, between 6 and 7,000. So I was like, okay, cool. Talked to my family friend, showed them the car, they decided to take this car. And I was like, okay, so the car, what price are we looking at? They tried to get it for 6,000, and at 6,000, I'm giving my guy 5,000. I'm fixing up every single thing that is wrong with this car. Remember, I'm selling to a family friend, so I cannot give them a nonsensical car. So I had to fix up every problem with this car. So I was like, okay, at 6,000, it wouldn't work. So I told them, hey, listen, let's do 6,500. That's a good price because I figured for $500 I could fix up every issue with the car, detail it, and get it front door ready. Door delivery ready. So at that point, my family friend was a little bit hesitant, but at the end of the day, she accepted via her daughter. Her daughter said, yes, 6,500 will take it. She sent me $1,000 deposit. So at this point, my profit being $1,500, which I'm happy with. And at the end of the day, I messaged my guy, told him, hey, listen, the car's sold. He was happy with his $5,000. So I went ahead and put the car into the shop for detail and further repairs. So I figured that within that $1,500 margin, I could make a profit, I could detail the car, and I could fix every mechanical issue wrong with the car, which there's not much. There's no lights on the dashboard. It's just little quirks and features and little things around the car, motor mount, ball joints, and probably 2 rear shocks. So probably by Tuesday, I'll have all that done and ready for delivery. So relationship, that's one way you could do this car business as on the flipping side or on the selling side and get to the $1 million mark. And remember, you just don't sell one car and get to the $1 million mark. You have to be consistent, you have to show up every day, and you have to do this over and over and over and over again. So think about it. If you think about a number like $1 million and you think of a number like $1,500, right? There's 1,000 that makes $1 million. So 1,000 times 1,000, $1 million. So you're gonna need less than 1,500 to get to $1 million. So the work is all cut out for you. So get to work. So the second way to do it is my favorite way, credit cards, right? So let's say you're not like me. You didn't get into college and do very, very not smart things with your credit and messed it up before you could turn 30, and you had good credit and someone schooled you and on the importance of credit and how to make income. I really think, honestly, the purpose of credit is for income earners. You cannot use credit if you're not making any income. How are you gonna pay the credit card bills? So it makes sense, right? So you have to have income, at least significant income, to be able to leverage huge credits. Now let's say you don't even have huge credit, you just have a basic Costco credit of $5,000, right? Right. Easy way to leverage that, and flip a free car and get to the $1 million mark. I'll tell you, it's easy. Walk into a Costco, sign up for their credit card. They give you a credit card for $5,000. You go, now you're set for homework. You go on Craigslist Marketplace, you go on any of the car sites. You could even walk into a random car dealership and build a relationship with a car dealer. Tell them what kind of car you're looking for. You're looking for a car you can make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 profit. Sounds simple, right? Well, that's one route you could go. The dealer could work with you and get you a car in that bracket, and you could go ahead and just keep leveraging that relationship and keep, stacking up your $1,500 to $2,500 till you get to $1 million. On the other flip side, let's say you're the kind of guy you don't have the social skills to walk into dealerships and make it happen. What is your alternative, right? Your alternative is this. You can go on Craigslist Marketplace. You could go on any of these sites, OfferUp and the rest of them. Look for cars and check their KBB value. As you check the KBB value, you contact the sellers and try to get it at a value where you could make at least $1,500 on the car. I'll give you an example. So let's say the car that I sold to my family friend was this car, okay, that was posted online. Let's use my guy as a reference point, my guy that I, to leverage a relationship with to get the Toyota Corolla. Let's say he had that car. I didn't know him. He was just a random guy. I didn't know him, and he had this car, and he posted it for $5,500, right? And then I messaged him. I'm like, hey, would you take $4,000 for this car? Well, let's say you start at $3,500, and you guys work your way. At the end of the day, let's say, worst case scenario, he's trying to take $4,500. Let's say $4,500 from a random stranger. Let's say that's possible. Okay. Now, I just said earlier that the KBB on this car, or the Mannheim market report on this car, is about somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000, right? And Mannheim is saying that you could sell this car. Mannheim is an auction. It's saying that you can sell this car for about $7,000 to $7,700, right? So now, of course, you're not gonna get that if you're not a dealer with a lot. If you're putting this car in a lot, for sure you're gonna get that, or maybe more. But let's say you're flipping it, you're just selling the car, right? For somebody, for a dealer, your dealer friend, whatever, you're selling it for yourself. By the way, the car that was sold was registered, so it was a registered title, so it was just being sold to another individual, so it's private to private. Nothing illegal was done here. I'm not advocating for anything illegal. So at the end of the day, so now you got this car, say for $5,000, and you know that there's a $2,700 margin here, right? Between what you pay for it and the actual possible retail value. So now you're gonna be selling it. You're just trying to make $1,500 profit. Do not be greedy. So there's a strong possibility that you're gonna get your $1,500. So what is your $1,500 mark? You got it for $5,000 plus $1,500, $6,500. So you post the car for $68,000. Most dealers are gonna be trying to post that car for $8,000, $8,500, maybe even $9,000. A lot of dealers, they have to make up. It's not that they're greedy, it's just the cost of doing business. A lot of dealers with lots and retail dealers, they have to cover cost of human resources. They have to cover cost of running the dealership, electricity. They have to pay their bills, so, and paperwork too. So once you do that, you find out that you can now acquire this car, okay? And once you acquire it, so this is how you acquire it. You have the credit card. Remember that credit card, the one for $5,000. So now all you do with that credit card is use the credit card to pay for the car. Remember, you got the credit card for free. Now use the credit card to pay for the car. And now once you use the credit card to pay for the car, you have a free car. Because remember, the credit was given to you by Costco. So now you have a free car, and you already have a buyer. Basically, you're posting it online to get a buyer. And because of the fact that your car meets most people's requirement and is under the KBB value, or at the right KBB value or under for most other cars, because remember, at the price you're going to be posting it for, you have your margin of $1,500, and that's all you're trying to get. And most dealers are trying to get more. So because of because of your car is reasonably priced, most people are going to rush your car. The car will be sold faster than anybody else posted online. So now, once you sell your car, you extrapolate your $1,500 profit, or maybe more, who knows? I hope you get more. and then you pay the credit card bill. Now you have the credit card $5,000 credit and your $1,500 profit. So now you have your first, you can now do $1 million minus 1,500, and now you have the rest to go. Okay, so that's how you can do that. And then about how to pull the $5,000. Hopefully, you can pay the seller with a credit card. If you cannot pay them from a credit card, you can just find a way. Maybe you could find a friend that has a POS. They could charge $5,000 and invoice you, and then they could give you the $5,000 in cash. There's so many ways to get money off a credit card, or you could call your credit card company and they could give you a cash. They can issue a cashier's check. There's so many ways. So if you need tips, message me and I'll give you more tips on how to pull money off a credit card. So once you do that, you're all set. Now you have your $1,500, in excess cash, and then you have your $5,000. Do not spend that $5,000. Go ahead and pay the credit card of the credit card company so that you are in good standing with them and you keep building good credit. Imagine what will happen if they increase your credit limit to $10,000. Now you can get 2 of those cars, and all of a sudden you're making profit in excess of $3,000 plus with 2 cars. So that's the second way. So now we talked about relationship, we talked about credit card. The third way to leverage, and no money and get to $1 million mark selling free cars is strangers. I know it sounds funny. Strangers will do amazing and wonderful things for you in this country. I was born in Nigeria, West Africa, and doing business in Nigeria can be quite difficult. It's not easy at all. Like, it's hard to leverage anything in Nigeria, and come out on top. But over here in the United States, the society is structured in such a way that the ease of doing business is there. So if you're the kind of person that can develop good interpersonal skills, and good interpersonal skills involves dressing well, speaking well, looking clean, smelling clean, speaking well, smiling, and approaching people with utmost respect and good faith. Once you can do these things, right, and you could just study a little bit and be eloquent and bring across your point on what your intentions are, people will do great things with you. I'll give you an example. A guy came to buy a Nissan Altima from me, a Russian guy. He's from Kazakhstan, USSR. He came with his friend to buy a car from me. They came to buy a Nissan Altima. And when the guy came, one of the guys, he was so well dressed. This guy was so well dressed. I just liked him as soon as I saw him. As soon as I saw this guy, I was like, I'd like to do something with this guy. I'd like to do business with him. This guy is a gentleman. He was well dressed, well spoken, smiled. He was he just had a great charisma about him. At the end after all said and done, his friend bought my Nissan Altima. The relationship didn't stop there. Because I told the friend a bunch of things that I was going to do if they bought the car, and I kept to my word. This guy ended up getting a 2003 Lexus GX470 from me for free. I repeat that. He got a 2003 Lexus GX470, a car that was worth over $10,000. I gave it to him for free. Why? Just because he was well spoken, well dressed. He seemed, I don't know, he seemed like a good citizen, someone with good integrity. He looked respectable. And because of that, he had that can-do attitude, like someone that could get the job done. Before that, I was having difficulty selling the car. So I figured, if this guy is younger, he's well versed in computer and marketing. He was marketing a cleaning business at that point. I was like, what would it hurt to try? So I gave him the car. Sad to say, at the end of the day, he wasn't able to sell the car, but that's fine. The trust that I sensed in him did not fail me. And at the end of the day, we were able to build a good relationship. Till today, he still comes to our dealership to rent cars. We rent cars to him. So whenever he needs cars and stuff like that, just to go here and they will give him loaner cars to do whatever he needs. Sometimes he has clients that he needs to clean stuff for, and he has to go over along loan cars to him. So because of his interpersonal skills, his cleanup skills, the way he dresses, the way he puts himself together, his sense of style, he was able to leverage his behavior, his attitude with a stranger for gains. So that's how you can do that. So if you could build that interpersonal skill, you could actually go into this marketplace, which is the world, find people that are trying to sell cars, find out how much they want, look up the KBB value, make sure that you can promise them an amount that is below the KBB value, at least $1,500, depending on the profit you're trying to make. So if you're trying to make a $2,000 profit and you know for sure you can get $2,000 out of the car, make sure you get the car from them with your $2,000 profit mark in mind. So if they, let's say they're asking for $6,000, try to get the car and promise them $4,000. If they have a car they're trying to sell for $7,000, tell them, hey, listen, this car, you know, this is the value on the market. You can get $5,000 for it. I can make $5,000 happen real fast. Keep your profit margin in mind. So basically, you go over the internet, look around, check the value of cars, and you see a car that this car, on a good day, this car is worth about $10,000. The seller has it listed for $7,000, right? That's the car you want to jump on. So worst case scenario, you could ask them, hey, I know you're asking for 7, let me get it for 6, and I will bring you 6 very quickly. So now you got it for 6, it's worth 10, you sell it for 8, you bring them back the $6,000. So now here's the part. How are you gonna be able to make a whole stranger give you an $8,000 car, a $5,000 car? That's the tricky part. Well, it comes back to the first part, building relationships, right? If you have something like a collateral, something you could give them, even your car. Let's say you don't have any money, the car you're driving, right? Give them the title to that car just like a bank. Like how you take a hard loan for a real estate project from private investor or private loan shark or whatever, people that give hard loans. You could give up your car. Hey, hold on to my car. Hey, here's my title. Hold on to it. Don't give me back this car till I bring back your money, right? Or you could use the same system, leverage that same credit card that you had to proceed. Or you could just loan money from a friend, give to the buyer, take the car, sell it, and reap the reward. So there's so many ways around it, but at the end of the day, if you have very good interpersonal skills, most people are very willing to be trusting. Like for example, you could tell them, why don't you hold on to the title? I'll go market the car. Or wait, let me take pictures of the car. I'll help you sell this car, right? So actually, I think this is the perfect situation. Take pictures of the car, market the car, bring the buyer to the seller's place, handle the whole deal, take your cut, and give the seller his money, and go about your day. And you could do this over and over again. There's so many cars online for sale, thousands and thousands. You go to Car Guru, you go to all these websites, there's so many cars that are undervalued. There's so many cars that the sellers are not even putting effort. They don't take good pictures. They don't clean it up nice. They don't do all that stuff. You could do all that and get the value of what the car is worth. And that's how you leverage that. So we've talked about 3 things. We've talked about the first one was leveraging relationships. Second one was credit cards. And the third one was dealing with strangers and using your interpersonal skills to score a profit from the cars that strangers are selling. So these are some of the ways to sell cars for free cars and get to the $1 million mark. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.